In this video, we explore 10 key concepts in digital sociology. Digital sociology applies classical and contemporary sociological thinking to digitally mediated life. It doesn't treat technology as separate from society. It shows how digital platforms, data, and algorithms are embedded in and reproduce social structures. Digital systems shape behavior, identity, and inequality, often invisibly. These concepts help us understand how everyday online activity is shaped by larger forces and why that matters for how we live, work, and relate to each other. Digital platforms like Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and LinkedIn are not just tools for communication or entertainment. They are powerful institutions that set the rules for interaction, visibility, and success. Their design decisions, like the presence of likes, follower counts, algorithms that reward engagement, or policies on monetization and content moderation, push users towards certain behaviors and away from others. These platforms embed commercial logics. More time spent means more ads seen. Over time, they shape what kinds of content are deemed valuable, what kinds of personas are rewarded, and who gets heard. From a sociological perspective, they structure norms in the way that older institutions like schools, churches, or workplaces once did, except they're largely unregulated and answerable only to shareholders. Algorithms play a central role in this environment. They are not just technical tools for sorting data, they are systems of power that classify people, rank content, and influence decision-making in real time. These include recommendation systems that determine what news you read, what videos you watch, or who you match with. In many cases, algorithmic systems also make or influence high-stakes decisions, screening job applicants, determining creditworthiness, or predicting criminal behavior. Sociologically, this recalls bureaucracy and the rationalization processes described by Max Weber, but without human discretion or the ability to appeal. Algorithms can encode and reinforce bias because they're trained on biased data, and yet they are often presented as objective. Most users are unaware of how these systems work, leading to a sense of powerlessness when outcomes feel arbitrary or unfair. Datafication refers to the transformation of everyday activities, emotions, and interactions into data that can be tracked, analyzed, and monetized. Social life becomes measurable. Steps taken, hours slept, keystrokes typed, and emojis used all generate data. This expands what sociologist Anthony Giddens called abstract systems. People navigate the world increasingly through metrics and scores. The quantified self-movement, for example, encourages individuals to track everything from mood to productivity to sleep, making personal improvement a data-driven project. But datafication also serves institutions. It enables surveillance, feeds algorithms, and reinforces norms about what kinds of behavior are valuable, productive, or healthy. What isn't captured as data becomes invisible, unmeasurable, and therefore less legitimate. Surveillance is deeply integrated into digital systems, often invisibly. People are watched constantly, not just by governments, but by employers, platforms, and each other. Apps track location, record behavior, and collect biometric data. Employers may monitor email activity, screen time, or even use facial recognition to measure attention. Governments increasingly rely on predictive analytics in policing, welfare fraud detection, and immigration control. Michel Foucault's idea of the panopticon, where people self-discipline because they might be watched, takes new form in the digital world, where surveillance is constant, decentralized, and often justified as personalization or convenience. Crucially, surveillance is uneven. Those with fewer resources, such as welfare recipients, gig workers, or marginalized communities, are more intensely monitored and punished when they deviate from expected norms. Digital labor refers to the economic value produced by users through everyday online activity. When you post, like, comment, or scroll, you are doing work that produces content, trains algorithms, and keeps platforms profitable. While influencers and content creators may earn money directly, most users receive no compensation for the value they help generate. From a Marxist sociological perspective, This is exploitation. Labor is performed, value is created, and platforms extract surplus without paying for it. Even more formalized labor, like ride sharing or content moderation, happens under tight algorithmic control, with little transparency or job security. Digital labor expands capitalist relations into leisure, friendship, and self expression, blurring the lines between work and play. Digital identity is shaped by performance, feedback, and platform constraints. Drawing on symbolic interactionism, we can see profiles as front stages where individuals present idealized versions of themselves for imagined audiences. Each platform encourages different performances: professional polish on LinkedIn, aesthetic lifestyle on Instagram, irony or outrage on X. Metrics like likes, views, and comments act as social signals that validate or undermine these performances. This feedback loop can be intense. People may alter how they speak, dress, or express opinions based on what gains engagement. The digital self is fragmented, continually curated, and exposed to constant evaluation. While this creates space for experimentation and visibility, it also brings pressure, surveillance, and self-doubt. Digital inequality goes far beyond the digital divide of who has access to devices or internet. Even among connected users, there are stark differences in digital literacy, visibility, and platform influence. Sociologically, digital inequality mirrors offline stratification. Some groups receive more attention and more protection, others are overlooked or actively harmed by algorithmic decisions. For instance, facial recognition software performs worse on non-white faces. Job algorithms may discriminate based on race or gender. Content from marginalized creators is often shadow banned or flagged. Visibility is also uneven. Platform logic amplifies those who already have large followings, reinforcing existing privilege. Digital inequality is about unequal risks, unequal rewards, and unequal capacity to shape one's environment. Networked publics are audiences that form around shared interests, content, or identities through digital connectivity. These publics are persistent, searchable, and often unpredictable. Dana Boyd's concept of context collapse helps explain how traditional boundaries between friends and strangers, private and public, break down online. A joke meant for a close group can be picked up by journalists. A comment on a small account can be amplified to millions. This collapse creates new risks and new opportunities. Social movements like Black Lives Matter or Walk Your Me Too gain traction through networked publics, but so have harassment campaigns and misinformation. These publics are not always democratic. Participation is shaped by algorithms, moderation policies, and inequalities of voice and reach. Automation is changing the way decisions are made, tasks are managed, and labor is organized. Sociologically, it connects to theories of bureaucratization and de-skilling. More decisions are being made by rule-based systems rather than human judgment. In workplaces, automation can take the form of algorithmic scheduling, performance monitoring, or even disciplinary systems, deciding who gets shifts, who gets fired, or who is promoted. In social life, automation shows up in chatbots, automated moderation, and AI-generated content. While often promoted as efficient and neutral, automation can hide responsibility and make error correction difficult. It reduces human discretion and turns complex decisions into black boxes. Those affected may never know who or what made the call. Digital affect refers to how emotions are shaped, circulated, and intensified through digital systems. Platforms are designed to amplify emotional engagement because it drives user activity. Content that provokes outrage, awe, fear, or sympathy is more likely to be shared and recommended. As a result, emotional expression is not just personal, it becomes a performance shaped by platform logics. Sociologists studying collective behavior and the sociology of emotion note how digital publics quickly form around moments of shared grief, celebration, or anger. Viral videos, online scandals, or celebrity deaths create temporary emotional communities, but this also contributes to polarization, outrage fatigue, and performative engagement, where emotion is used for clout rather than connection. In conclusion, digital sociology offers essential tools for understanding how society is being reshaped by technology. These 10 concepts, platforms, algorithms, datafication, surveillance, digital labor, digital identity, inequality, networked publics, automation, and digital affect, reveal the deep social structures at work beneath the surface of everyday online life. They show how power, control, and meaning are negotiated in digital spaces, often in ways that reproduce existing hierarchies. As digital infrastructures become more central to how we work, learn, relate, and govern, the insights of digital sociology become not just useful, but necessary. Digital life is social life, and it is increasingly shaped by forces that are invisible, unequal, and deeply consequential. Stay tuned for more insights into business and the social sciences. If you found this overview helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on future topics you'd like us to cover. I'm Dr. Dog, wishing you a fantastic day ahead.